and Joyce have both talked at very high level about QBD and operational excellence. What I'm going to speak about now are somewhat of a step down. PAT and DOE are things which support QBD and operational excellence. The talk is pretty much in two halves, PAT discussed first and DOE discussed second. If I go fast or if you have questions, please don't hesitate to raise your hand and try and stop me. Here it is. Okay, DOE, QBD, PAT, lots of abbreviations meaning lots of different things. And sometimes it feels like you have to be a member of the in crowd to understand what those mean. I think at the end of my talk, and certainly after both Joyce and Susan have spoken, these terms won't be sort of odd or unfamiliar. Okay, what is PAT? Strictly speaking, PAT is Process Analytical Technology, which is the equivalent of saying, what is PAT? It doesn't really mean a lot. There are a number of ways to define it. I think the most important of the four that I've put up here are the last two. PAT involves real-time testing. Most of us in biopharma are used to doing testing after the fact. In other words, we run a process, we run unit operations, we take samples, we analyze, and we determine what had happened. The function of PAT, the real power, if you will, of PAT, is that we are analyzing as the process is occurring, and more importantly, we are adjusting that process real time so that it maintains in control and the product meets its critical quality attributes. PAT is nothing less than a real shift in process control philosophy, and it's a big difference for the bio field. Okay, what's the goals for PAT? Where we are currently is offline. Samples are taken, they're sent off to QC. Manufacturing may be sitting around waiting for a response, which fractions to combine, whether or not the material passes. In some cases, we're now at line. Samples are taken, but they're analyzed on the process floor in manufacturing. So there's still a stop, but it's not usually as long. Online is being adopted in some areas. We can think about some of the samples that are done in upscale, where a sample is taken and cell counts are done or cell mass is determined. Inline and, more importantly, non-invasive are the goals of PAT.